to AC 24/7, I'm Aaron Dean. TikTok is suing the state of Montana over a bill that would ban the social media app in the state. Under the law, Montana would fine TikTok $10,000 per day if it makes the app available to personal devices in the state starting January of 2024. The law stems from growing concern about TikTok's ties to the Chinese through its parent company and the potential for the Chinese government to access U.S. data. TikTok says that fear is unfounded, and its complaint filed in Montana District Court argues that the law is unconstitutional. Even if the law stands, legal and technology experts question whether Montana would actually be able to enforce it. And Facebook's parent company Meta is facing a record-breaking fine from European regulators. The European Data Protection Board announced this week that Meta must pay $1.3 billion for violating EU privacy laws by transferring the personal data of Facebook users to servers in the United States. Officials say that the fine comes after an inquiry into Facebook by the Irish Data Protection Commission, the chief regulator overseeing Meta's operations in Europe. The fine is the largest ever under GDPR. Meta, which also owns WhatsApp and Instagram, said that it will appeal the ruling, including the fine. And Amazon has been using artificial intelligence for a while with its Alexa, but now the company is looking to adapt the voice assistant tool with the rise of ChatGPT. Amazon says it wants to create a great personal assistant using generative AI. This type of intelligence can create new content such as text and images in response to user prompts. It's unclear exactly how that would be integrated with the Alexa products. One way could be more natural conversations with users, answering more complex questions or tailoring its responses to each user. June 1st looms as the day the U.S. will default on its debt if Congress and the White House fail to agree on a limit increase. Fed Chair Jerome Powell and corporate business leaders are weighing in on the negotiations. The Advocate Channel's Laura Aguirre has the latest on talks and key sticking points.
We're not there yet.
Kevin McCarthy, Speaker of the House, giving a state of play on debt ceiling negotiations Tuesday. Both parties deeply divided over future spending versus current debt.
Why are we in the problem we're in? People have spent too much money, and the Democrats want to even spend more than we spent last year.
We are not going to stand by as devastating cuts are put in place that harm the economy and harm our communities.
The White House initially said cuts to Social Security and Medicare are off the table, but many Democrats are watching closely for any Oval Office concessions.
I think there would be a huge backlash from our entire House Democratic, caucus, certainly the progressives, but also in the streets.
The Federal Reserve and many business leaders are anxious to stabilize a national budget, but also the financial markets.
A default would be a message to investors all around the world of eroding confidence in America.
Find a compromise and avoid an unforced error that could tip an otherwise pretty good economy into something really bad.
Another sticking point, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen saying default could come as early as June 1st.
I don't believe that the first of the month is a real deadline.
She'll extend it, but right now she's using June 1st. Everybody knows that's false.
One point of agreement, there's still much work to be done. I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
Writer E. Jean Carroll wants the court to hold Donald Trump liable for what he said about her during a recent CNN town hall. Carroll has asked the judge to amend her initial defamation case against the former president. In that initial civil case, the jury found Trump liable for battery and defamation and ordered him to pay about $5 million in damages. She is now seeking additional punitive damages for alleged defamatory statements by Trump made during the town hall on May 10th. Carroll's attorney claims that his statements go directly to the issue of punitive damages. There were more foreign-born workers in the U.S. last year compared to the year prior. According to data from the Labor Department, people born outside of the U.S. made up 18% of the civilian labor force. That's up 17% from 2021. The unemployment rate for foreign-born workers also declined from 5.5% to 3.5%. Hispanics accounted for nearly half of the foreign-born labor force last year. Asians accounted for 1/4. As for the types of jobs, they were more likely to be employed in service occupations, natural resources, construction, and maintenance. 3 Southwest states announced that they have struck a historic deal to cut billions of gallons of Colorado River water usage over the next 4 years. The deal marks a major step to save the crushing Colorado River system, which provides water to more than 40 million people in the West.
A historic deal has been reached to save a crashing Colorado River system that provides water to more than 40 million people. California, Arizona, and Nevada agree to cut around 10% of their state's Colorado River allocation, which is equal to 3 million acre-feet of water. An acre-foot covers 1 acre of land 1 foot deep. The water cuts would be split up among farmers, tribes, and cities who are working with the federal government on short-term payments in exchange for water savings.
It is so exciting to have the power of both the states and the federal government working together on these very, very big goals.
Most of the cuts would be compensated with at least $1 billion in federal funds from the Inflation Reduction Act, which the Energy Secretary and Colorado Senator John Hickenlooper spoke about at the National Renewable Energy Laboratory.
But if we're going to be successful in this effort to move forward and push our way up and deal with these problems, which we are, and I've never been more optimistic in my life than I am right now.
The deal marks a major step after months of tense negotiations as officials scrambled to reach an agreement to boost water levels at reservoirs where levels are approaching dead pool levels. The deal allows the federal government to make additional cuts if water levels fall further, but that is less likely after a heavy snow season. I'm Shelley Malashi reporting.
Rising global temperatures could expose billions of people to dangerously hot conditions in the coming years. That's according to a new study published in the journal Nature Sustainability. Scientists say the climate where humans flourish is between 55 to 81 degrees Fahrenheit. Outside that window, conditions tend to be too cold or too hot or maybe even too dry. If the world continues on its projected trajectory, about 2 billion people will be living outside of the niche by 2030. According to the study, they will be facing average temps of 84 degrees or higher. By 2090, the population grows to nearly 4 billion people. Nearly 600 million people are living outside the niche. According to a new survey, the top 5 sizzling metro areas when it comes to real estate are in the Southeast, and experts say that it marks a unique shift with a potential impact on buyers and sellers across the country. Cole Higgins has a closer look.
A shift in the housing market. A new survey from Bankrate shows the Southeast is now home to the top 5 hottest metro regions. And Bankrate says the data shows a changing real estate landscape as remote work is giving Americans more options. Traditionally, areas like the West Coast and Northeast have dominated the market, but now we are witnessing a significant surge of interest in the southeastern states, with these metro areas making up the top 5 hottest regions. At the top, Gainesville, Georgia, followed by Knoxville, Tennessee, Cape Coral, Fort Myers, Florida, Northport, Sarasota, Bradenton, Florida, and the Charlotte, Concord, Gastonia, North Carolina, South Carolina area. So what's contributing to this shift? Bankrate says the biggest factor is affordability. Chico, California ranked the lowest based on Bankrate's metrics, along with Shreveport, Medford, Cedar Rapids, and Pittsburgh. For Consumer Watch, I'm Cole Higgins reporting.
And thank you for joining us for AC 24/7. For more, go to theadvocatechannel.com and subscribe on the Advocate Channel YouTube page. For AC 24/7, I'm Aaron Dean.